Hi guys. Okay, for our warm-up this morning, just a review from what we did yesterday. If I look at my diagram, I find my right angle and go out from that. I see X is one of my legs and 15 is my other leg. And the hypotenuse is 20. So when I sub in, I've got a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I usually put the variable in for a when it's a leg. And 20 is my c. So x squared plus, not equals, sorry. 15 squared is 225. And 20 squared, 20 times 20 is 400. Subtracting 225, both sides. $400 minus 225 is 175. And square root both sides. And square root of 175, I need a calculator for that. $13.2. Okay, let's go and make sure that makes sense with the other numbers. We don't want a number that's too high or too low. So x equaling 13.2, that makes sense with the other numbers we have. This one should be the largest. Okay, 20 should be the largest, should be larger than 15 worth of 13.2, so that makes sense. All right, our learning target for today is I can apply Pythagorean theorem to real-life situations described in word problems. Pythagorean theorem, again, guys, pause, ask to have things paused when you need to. Bob is building stairs, the inside measurements of the wood trim. So when I say wood trim, I'm going to start with our highlighter here. Actually, I'm not. We can see our right angle right there. And there's some trim pieces on the inside here. Well, there's a trim piece here. There's a trim piece here. And there's a trim piece here. Okay? The pieces are shown in the diagram. How long is the question mark piece? So we are, again, just going to use our Pythagorean theorem. I can see that the piece I don't know is a leg, and 8 is my C. So in today's lesson, guys, you're going to have the last two lessons, the types of problems mixed up. Sometimes you're finding legs, sometimes you're finding hypotenuse. So the question mark piece is a leg. I'm going to leave that A, and then the other leg is 7. So I always leave the variable first. A squared plus 49 equals 64. Basically, we're, finding how long this piece is. Minus 49, both sides. 64, take away 49 is 15. Square root both sides. And the square root of 15, 3.9. So this part here is about 3.9 feet tall. And that makes sense when we look at the rest of the picture. A cable car is sitting at the lower station and then rises to the upper station. How long are the cables? So I'm going to look for the right angle. Where does it look like there's a right angle in the picture? Right here in this corner. That means that that's a leg, 2,000 is a leg, and 1,300 is a leg. And we want to know the length of the cable. Okay? how long, excuse me, how long is this cable? Okay. So one of my legs, we have legs, both legs this time, so 1300 squared plus 2000 squared equals, I don't know the hypotenuse. Okay, so these are some big numbers, but the process is still the same. So 1300 squared is 1,690,000. And 2,000 squared is 4 million. For a total of 569, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5,690,000 is x squared. And we'll square root both sides. And we get a value of 2,385.4. So the cable, this cable from here to here, is about 2,385.4 feet. And given the other numbers, 1,300 and 2,000, that makes sense. We want it to be a number in the thousands, and we want it to be a little bit bigger than the other two numbers. It has to be bigger than those. We're going to skip the house problem. This is actually the last problem we're going to do in the notes, and then you can start working on the homework. A ladder is leaning against the house. The ladder is 10 feet long, and the base is 3 feet away from the house. How high does the ladder reach? Okay, well, it's really helpful if you draw a picture. So we'll draw a very simple stick house. Okay, we've got a ladder leaning up against the house. It says that the ladder is 10 feet long, and the base or the bottom of the ladder, so here's the bottom of the ladder, is 3 feet away from the house. And the question is, how high up the house, how high is this from here to here? How high up does that reach? Okay, so let's look for a right triangle in this picture. Well, I see a right triangle right here. Okay, the right angle for it would be here. So that tells me that this is a leg. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to be on highlighter. This is a leg. This is a leg, and that's a hypotenuse. So once I have a picture, it's pretty easy. So since one of my legs is a variable, I'm going to plug that in. My other leg is 3, and my hypotenuse is 10. 3 squared is 9, and 10 squared is 100. Minus 9 is 91. And then taking the square root both sides, it's about 9.5 feet. So the ladder will reach about 9.5 feet up the house. Let's look at a couple homework questions, because the whole front page is not paragraph word problems. It's just saying either leg and a leg or leg and a hypotenuse. So if it says leg, anytime you see leg, that's going to indicate either A or B. I'll just use A. And then it says leg again, there's a B. So if I'm going to set this up, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. If I'm given leg and leg, I must be finding the C. That must be what I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to sub in 5 squared plus 12 squared equals C squared. 25 plus 144 equals C squared. 25 plus 144 is 169. Square root. And C equals 13. I went really fast on that one because I knew that it would come out like that. Okay. In number 2, I'm given leg and a hypotenuse. So hypotenuse is C. I'm going to make the other leg B. You can make it A if you want, but I always like the A to be the variable. Okay. So I'm going to have A squared plus B squared equaling C squared. I don't know one of the legs. That's what I'm trying to find out. So I'm going to leave that a variable. Put 11 in for B equals 61 squared. (61 squared), I can't do that in my head. 3,721. Subtract 121. It's 3,600. Square root both sides. So the other leg, this one comes out even also. The other leg is 60. Okay, so that's the whole front of your homework. The back of your homework is more word problems like we just did in the notes. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. See you next time.